Hello, my name's Chantal and I'm one of the Functional Skills English tutors that will be taking you through your Functional Skills English course. This is a very important video to tell you about one of the tasks that we will be asking you to prepare before you join us on the course. That task will be a presentation and it will be part of a speaking and listening exam that will take place on the Wednesday afternoon of your English course. So there are 3 exams that you can expect to take during the course. As I said, the first one is a speaking, listening and communicating exam, often known as the SLC, that will be taking place on Wednesday afternoon. You will also have your reading and writing exams, which will take place on the Friday afternoon of the week. The speaking, listening and communicating exam is used to assess your speaking and listening abilities, and there are 2 tasks that you will take part in. The first task is an individual presentation, followed by a question and answer session from your peers. The second task is a small group discussion with 3 to 5 people in your group discussion. The discussion will be prepared during the week of your course, so you don't need to worry about that at the moment. The individual presentation will need to be prepared beforehand if you have any time to do so, and we really recommend that you do, because it will get it out of the way and it will be one less thing to worry about during the course. Now, you will be in small groups. For example, you might be in a group of 3 to 4 people during your whole speaking, listening and communicating exam, and you will each perform your presentation to each other and then ask each other a few questions, and then you will take part in a discussion within the same group. So your task 1, your presentation, you will need to prepare a formal presentation on a chosen topic. The timing is 15 minutes long, and this is really important. So the total timing altogether with the presentation and the question and answer session can be 15 minutes long. So that means your presentation might be 10 to 12 minutes, and then you can leave 3 to 5 minutes for questions from your peers afterwards. I'm sure you all know what a presentation is, but just in case anyone has never given one before, it's the act of preparing for and conveying information to a group of people to inform and or persuade the listeners of something. Your information should be provided in a logical sequence, and it shouldn't require prompting from the listeners at all. So you should be prepared enough to speak for 10 to 12 minutes without anyone having to stop you or tell you what to say or give you any ideas to continue. In order to research and prepare for this presentation, there are a few different options for you. So you can either make a slideshow presentation or put this into a PowerPoint form. Now, if you are really familiar with using slideshow or PowerPoint, we really recommend using that in your presentation. It gives your audience something visual to follow along with, and it also helps to keep all of your presentation notes on all of your different slides, which you can follow along with quite easily. If that is not your thing, and we don't expect you to try and learn it in a few days, you can just make presentation notes on your chosen topic. So this would be an A4 sheet of paper with some bullet pointed notes on. And you will see on the page here, I've said no scripts are allowed. This is because you shouldn't have a script to read off, paragraphs of information going down the page. It should just be bullet points that you can expand from easily. And I'll show you an example of what that might look like very soon. You might want to do some research. It would be great if you can give us some facts and maybe some statistics about your topic before you go on to talk about it in further detail. Just a reminder that your timing is very important. It needs to be a minimum of 15 minutes for the presentation and the question and answer session in total. So to make your presentation flow very smoothly, I really recommend that you use an introduction and a conclusion. So at the beginning, it's really important to introduce yourself and your topic and outline what you will cover in your presentation. For example, if I was talking about traveling, I might say, hello, my name is Chantal, and today I will be talking about the importance of traveling. Today I will be talking about all the different places I've traveled to, why I love traveling so much, how you can get ready to go traveling, and why I think traveling is such an important thing for all people to do. At the end, it would be really good if you can summarize your topic. You might want to make some recommendations. For example, I recommend that everyone travels to at least 5 different places in their lifetime. And remember at the end to thank your audience for listening and ask if they have any questions. This will help to prompt the question and answer session that needs to follow at the end of your presentation. Some structure ideas would be as follows. You can introduce your topic, present all of your information and ideas. Perhaps you want to give your own point of view and then make some conclusions and/or recommendations afterwards. Presentation notes are really important, so you must make some notes before the exam to show you've adequately prepared. Don't just read off Wikipedia or Google. You might laugh, but this has happened before. Notes must be short and not in full sentences. Okay, so your notes could be on your slideshow or your PowerPoint presentation, just like my notes are on my page now, and I can easily expand on them. Alternatively, your notes can be on your piece of paper if you are not preparing a PowerPoint, and you can expand on them. We will ask you to provide us with your notes, to send them to us during the week of your course, but not before then, just to show that you've adequately prepared and researched, or just prepared in general for your presentation. So let's say you were presenting the topic, my favorite TV series. If I was presenting this topic, this is what my A4 sheet of paper of notes might look like. Okay, so I've got a nice clear heading at the top. It's a review of the Handmaid's Tale TV series. I chose this topic because it's something I knew well and I really enjoy. So it's good to talk about something that you're quite passionate about. You can see you've got an introduction on there, and it just says hello and introduce topic. I know from that I can expand on that for a few minutes and really get into my topic a little bit more. Talk about the series, talk about when it was made. You can talk about the plot line. What do you think? It's always good to give your opinion, no matter what your presentation topic is, whether you recommend it or not. Okay, is there anything you would improve about the TV series or about your topic in general? Then it's great to put a conclusion on there just so that you remember. Thank you for listening. Do you have any questions? So this is what your A4 sheet of notes might look like. Alternatively, you might have your notes on your PowerPoint, as I mentioned earlier. It's really great to show something visual. Even if you are not using a PowerPoint presentation, you could show a simple picture like the one I'm showing on the screen, which has been taken from The Handmaid's Tale. Now, in this picture, it would allow me to talk about it for 2 or 3 minutes, explain what was happening, explain the episode or the scene, what had happened before this picture, what happens after the picture. And therefore, I'm adding more time to my presentation, and it's allowing me to expand on my points a little bit more. Alternatively, you might want to hold up some relia on the camera. So if there is something that you are talking about, for example, if you are talking about pens and you know what they can do for people, which I'm sure your topics will be much more interesting than that, you might want to just hold up a pen and explain the different parts of it. For example, we've had lots of people give presentations where they've held things up on the camera. It could be pictures on their phone. It could be printed off pictures from the internet or from an older camera, something like that. We've had people talk about fishing, and then they presented and talked through as well all of their different fishing equipment. Alternatively, of course, you can use a slideshow presentation if you feel like that would help you more. How are you assessed for the presentation? The things that we are looking for are on this assessor sheet here. This is the sheet that we as assessors will look for when we are assessing you. So these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, those are the points we will look for. Identifying relevant information and lines of arguments. Okay, so just making sure that all of your information in your main topic and subtopics are relevant to what you're talking about. When you are taking part in the Q&A session afterwards, just asking some relevant questions to obtain some specific information from your peers, making sure that you are responding effectively to those questions when you are being asked, communicating any information, ideas, and opinions clearly and accurately on your range of subtopics throughout your presentation. Any opinions and arguments should be expressed and supported with some evidence. This is where your research and facts come into it. Just making sure that you're using appropriate phrases, registers, and adapting your contributions to take account of your audience, purpose, and medium. Okay, so making sure that you're not using any inappropriate language, making sure it's quite formal and appropriate to the situation and the audience. Down the right-hand side, you might want to pause the video for a while and have a read of that. Joseph is a dummy candidate, and this just shows you how we as assessors will be marking you and grading you on your presentation there. Here are some suggested topics from your exam board called Highfield. So the topics they have on their website are as follows: a review of a film, followed by a question and answer session from your peers, instructions on how to complete a task. So this could be how to switch utility companies or any task that you are really familiar with. Presenting information about a local environmental issue. Those ones can be quite effective. Present a detailed explanation about how social media can affect young people both positively and negatively. There are also some other suggested topics. Ignore the bit on the top, as there is no chat box to this video, but you could talk about your hobby, any hobby that you like to do, your family life, health and fitness, your line of work, your favorite film or TV series, your pet. We've had lots of nice presentations on all sorts of animals, including dogs, horses, cats, etc. And the rest of them that I've just showed you on the previous page are also on this page. So before you come to the course, it would be great if you could pick your topic and write it on our Google Classroom, which I will show you in a moment. So we would like you to actually prepare your presentation in advance of the course as much as you can, just so that you've got extra time to do so, and so that you are not rushing and trying to get it done within 2 days. Okay, so that's the main reason for showing you this video and giving you this information in advance. Okay, thank you very much for listening to me. I'm just going to share my screen to Google Classroom. And show you what this would look like. Okay, so you would have been asked when you got your joining instructions to join a Google Classroom, and instructions for that were in the joining instructions themselves. Okay, and there will be a post in there asking you to say hello, so please do so. And then there will be another post. Please write your presentation topics under this post. So once you've got that decided, if you could just write it in there, for example, traveling, then myself or James, our other functional skills English tutor, will comment on that and tell you whether or not it's an appropriate topic. So we do need to make sure that we approve all of your topics before you start presenting them and start preparing for them. So please do put them in this Google Classroom, and we will let you know that it's okay before you start preparing for it, which will save everyone a lot of time. So we will send you a handout that will go along with this video to give you some more important information about your presentation and how to go about preparing it. If you do have any questions, please post them onto the Google Classroom and we will get back to you. We can also answer any questions you might have about this in the actual course when you join it on the Monday that you join. Until then, if you could just start preparing your 10 to 15 minute presentation, that would be really helpful and will save you time in the course. And we look forward to virtually meeting you soon. Have a great day and see you soon. Bye.